Let's have a look at our wrenchhead.com starting grid for today's 500-miler. 26th career pole for Terry Labonte, the defending champ of this race, and Kevin LePage has his second front row start this year. Scott Pruitt, his second top 5 start of the season, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's been in the top 10 6 times this year. Dale Jarrett, the Daytona 500 winner, twice runner-up here, and Steve Park, who was 4th at Atlanta and 7th at Bristol. Rookie Jeff Fuller, the former modified champion, has his first top 10 start, and Jerry Nadeau, his 3rd top 10 of the season. Ward Burton, the winner 2 weeks ago at Darlington, and Mark Martin, winner of this race 2 years ago. Mike Skinner, who came so close to that first career win in Atlanta, and Joe Nemechek, who was 4th here in '98. Matt Kenseth, who leads the Rookie of the Year chase, and Bobby Labonte, winner at Rockingham. Stacy Compton has his best start of the season, and Chad Little. Dale Earnhardt, who won at Atlanta last month, and Ed Berrier. Rusty Wallace, who got that 50th career win last week, and Ricky Rudd. Michael Waltrip with Bill Elliott, who had a strong 3rd at Daytona. Jeff Gordon hasn't won since Charlotte in October, and Dave Blaney makes his Texas debut. Brett Bodine cracked the top 25 in qualifying, and Johnny Benson coming off that impressive runner-up finish at Bristol. Kenny Irwin, last year's pole sitter, and Dick Trickle in the Joe Bessie Jeffrey Bodine car. Gary Bradbury makes his first start of the season, replacing Rick Mast in the 41. Darrell Waltrip, 3-time Winston Cup champion, solidly in the field. Jeremy Mayfield, 5th here last year, and Kenny Wallace, his 4th start at Texas. Adam Petty is NASCAR's first 4th-generation racer today, and Rick Mast has moved into the A.J. Foyt car. Elliott Sadler finished in the top 10 here last year, and Ken Schrader, 9th at Daytona. Then the provisional starters, Jeff Burton, who won this race in '97, and Tony Stewart, last year's Rookie of the Year. Sterling Marlin, who has 2 top 10s in Texas, and John Andretti looking for his 3rd career victory today. Jimmy Spencer, 7th here 2 years ago, and Bobby Hamilton with 3 Winston Cup wins to his credit. And finally, Robert Presley, who scored a career-best 3rd-place finish here 2 years ago.
Back, there were 5 drivers who failed to qualify for this race. Todd Bodine, Wally Dallenbach, Dave Marcus, Kyle Petty, and Robbie Gordon. Only 0.6 of a second separated first and last.
Manufacturer's breakdown in today's field, there will be 18 Fords, 16 Chevrolets, and 9 Pontiacs. You see that Ford is leading right now with 3 wins this year, over 1 for Chevrolet, 2 for Pontiac.
43 drivers will start this field today. 334 laps for 500 miles, a purse of over $4.3 million. The fuel wind is 60 to 63, 65 laps. Race record was set last year by Terry Labonte at over 144 miles an hour.
We'll be riding with 7 different drivers in today's 500-mile race. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Budweiser Cam, starting from 4th position. Mike Skinner with the Lowe's onboard camera in his Richard Childress Chevrolet. He'll go off 11th. Bobby Labonte has the Circuit City camera inside his Joe Gibbs Pontiac, starting 14th. Ricky Rudd with the Texaco Haviland camera in his Robert Yates Racing Ford, the 20th starter. And the Siemens camera is in Dave Blaney's Bill Davis Pontiac from 24th spot. Johnny Benson coming oh so close to that first win. Here's Benson, the Lycos.com camera in his Tyler Jett Pontiac, and Tony Stewart with the Home Depot camera in his Joe Gibbs Pontiac from 38th position. Let's go pit side and Bill Stevens.
Are debuting brand new cars here in Texas this weekend. One of the surprising aspects of that is Dale Earnhardt. He's got a brand new car here. He did not run the car here in Texas that he won in Atlanta with. Now that's kind of a surprise.
Sorry, Bill, we'll be back to you in a moment. Let's try Dick Berggren on pit road.
I'm listening to Mark Barton in the number 6 car. That is one of the fastest cars out here. They are so comfortable with the setup that they have in that thing, even though they only had 1 practice session on the race setup. They didn't touch it this morning, Mike. He has won more than half the stock car races out here. Let's go to Ralph.
Dick, as far as the front row is concerned, this race is really going to start on lap number 3. Terry Labonte is going to make sure he leads lap number 1. They're hoping to help Kevin LePage lead lap number 2, who is sitting right next to him. That will give each of those teams 5 bonus points for leading a lap. After that, it's every man for himself.
Trying to tame Texas. Boy, that's been a tall order here over the short history of this beautiful speed plant. The track, which has 173,000 seats, say that they have more season ticket holders than do the Dallas Cowboys. This track has been very successful with both NASCAR and Indy Racing League events since it opened. Ken Squire?
The wind is gusting now, sometimes 10 to 15 miles per hour from the north to the south. That means they got a little kick going into turn number 1. It follows them down the front straightaway. Michael?
Getting set for this race to start. They're about half a mile away.
You can see them zigzagging back and forth. They're getting a little heat in the tires and also cleaning the racing surface of the race tire.
It's cool out there. The folks in the stands, sweaters, jackets, things are about to heat up.
Makes for faster racing. Cool weather, overcast, tires will adhere well to the pavement, and the engines will breathe well as well.
Pace car is in. The 4th DirecTV 500 is set to go green, and we're racing in Texas.
Assuring himself of being able to lead that first lap.
Kevin LePage from the outside pole did not quite get the go at the green, and Scott Pruitt has slipped underneath him for second spot. LePage is third.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. there in the 8 car is in 4th place. He has a very strong car. In practice, he was as good as anyone.
You can see a lot of side-by-side racing back in the pack. Those first 5 or 6 cars are single file.
Dale Jarrett 5th, Steve Park in 6th, rookie Jeff Fuller in 7th. Then here's the first side-by-side battle. Ward Burton. After that practice crash, he and Jerry Nadeau tussle for 8th place.
Boy, it was amazing, Mike, that after that crash, he'd gotten no laps on that Pontiac that he's driving here today. Before qualifying, went out and qualified at 9th, and looks like he has a good car for race setup.
Riding with Mike Skinner, that's Ward Burton just ahead.
Mike, you can see how flat the track is as they enter the turns. That's one thing they told me about the racetrack, that you start in, it's very, very flat, and the car floats into the corner.
Lead change, turn 1, Scott Pruitt. A NASCAR rookie, well, pretty much in name only. He's tamed champ cars, sports cars. Here he is in the Cup circuit.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s moved into 3rd place now as they go down the back straightaway into turn 3.
Earnhardt Jr. looking over the rear spoiler. Labonte, here he comes.
And on the inside, made it look easy. Boy, he had some horsepower under the hood of that Budweiser Chevrolet.
So Scott Pruitt has led in NASCAR for the first time. And this also the first race that Terry Labonte has led since Rockingham back in October.
Terry backslid about 3 or 4 spots, so he's now back up to speed, but he got caught on the outside, Ned, and they just can't go when they get on the high side of the racetrack.
He was not going to take any chances up there in that second groove. It'll work in as time goes by, but right now the fastest way around this racetrack is right down on the bottom of the racetrack. And so Terry not wanting to take any chances. Too much racing yet to go to take chances.
Here's Dale Earnhardt in 15th, and last week's winner, Rusty Wallace, the number 2, in 16th. Matt Kenseth finished second late last night in that Busch Grand National event. And he's back there in 16th position. Upper left of your screen, red there like Stacy Compton. That 21st position means that he's lost a spot. Drivers in green there on the upper left, those positions are drivers who gained a position or more since the last lap.
Boy, Scott Pruitt's making this thing look pretty easy in the 32 car. He took the lead, and he's actually stretching just a little bit, but there's some cars behind him moving up pretty quick. One of them, Dale Jarrett.
Little contact down in turn 1. Ricky Rudd got traded a little paint with somebody there to no consequence, as we've been green for all of these first 6 laps. There's that battle. It was Chad Little on the outside of Ricky Rudd down in turn 1.
And and they touched again. Yes. They've run almost a lap side by side. And they said, hey, Chad, I better get on by you, buddy.
7 of Michael Waltrip moves up underneath. There's the 42 in blue and green. That's Kenny Irwin. And Johnny Benson trying to move up as they've pinned that 97 of Chad Little to the outside. From Ricky Rudd's car, looking back at Michael Waltrip's number 7. And up front, things have heated up for the lead.
It has that. The 8 car there, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has moved closer and closer on Scott Pruitt, and he brought Kevin LePage right along with him.
You ride with Dale Earnhardt Jr., defending Busch Grand National champion, as he looks over the Ford of Scott Pruitt.
Well, Mike, we were right here when this young man won the Busch Grand National race a couple of years back there, and he won his first race ever right here. He loves this track.
They run 1-2. Pruitt the leader. Earnhardt Jr. in second. Now, Terry Labonte, who's led 3 of the 4 Texas races, including this one, has dropped back to 6th place. Let's go to pit road. What's the problem?
Mike, that number 5 has gotten pretty loose. The Chevy not handling the way he needs it to. So he is just going to drop back a little bit, try to be patient, and get that car a little bit tighter when they get them in for their first round of pit stops.
Pruitt being pressured by Earnhardt Jr. And now back comes Kevin LePage in that purple and white 16.
He fell back a little bit there at the beginning, but he has moved right back up into 3rd place and into contention for the lead.
Now here's the first group of the first pack. Now the field is split into 2 large packs, and this is the first part of the first one as things have strung out kind of quickly here at Texas in these first 10 laps. Now this all the first group of cars, and then there's about 3 seconds back to where Ricky Rudd leads that second large group of cars that comprises the second half of the field, and they lack about half a lap to these 3 leaders.
Yeah, and just behind them, Dale Jarrett's moving in there, Steve Park and Terry Labonte. So it's going to be a big train of cars fighting as Dale Earnhardt Jr. tries to take the lead.
For more on this outstanding Winston Cup rookie, Dick Berggren.
Well, Earnhardt Jr. won his very first ever Busch Series race right here in Texas, so he came filled with excitement and enthusiasm. But his crew is telling him, be cool. See who you're running with up there. He's running with a guy that doesn't have a lot of experience here at Texas. But then again, neither does anybody else in this field. Mike?
He just backed off something. I don't know why he slowed down so much. And cars behind him backed off a little bit. Kevin LePage backed off. I don't know if they hit a slick spot and they thought something was going on out there, but they backed off, and Scott Pruitt has taken off. A lot of position changing back there for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Well, you're right. Steve Park went from 5th to 3rd right now, and he's moved in on Earnhardt Jr. Something happened. They may have had a little contact in that group, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. definitely checked up.
He was right up and under Scott Pruitt 2 laps ago, and now he's fallen 7/10 of a second behind. We look back at the 3rd place car of Steve Park, and he also drives for Dale Earnhardt Inc. He is Earnhardt Jr.'s teammate, and what a last couple of races that Park has had, including his first ever Winston Cup pole. Dick, what happened to Dale Jr.?
Well, there's all kinds of colors of things in clothing in this grandstand, Mike, and he looked up there and thought one of those yellow jackets was the caution light. Backed out of it for just a second because here in Texas you don't want to mess around with a caution light. But look at him. He's doing fine. He's closing right back in on Pruitt.
Well, he is, but that was a strange moment out there, really. I mean, they just slowed down, and Pruitt just kept going, and everybody else started passing everybody else back there for that 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 6th positions.
The one thing that is happening, though, the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. has caught Pruitt again. He's tightened right up. As we go back to Matt Kenseth here and Rusty Wallace as they fight back in the pack.
This will be for 14th position. Last night's 2nd place finisher against last week's Winston Cup winner. Let's go back to the front where you can see that Earnhardt Jr. is right on Scott Pruitt. Now his favorite place to try to pass has been entering turn 1. He can't get much lower on the racetrack than Pruitt is, though, in turn 3.
No, he's been getting a good run off of turn 4, and that's what has allowed him to get up there going into turn 1. Let's see if he's going to do it. Nope, I don't believe he'll do it this time.
Not going to happen. 16 laps complete. 2 rookies lead the field. Scott Pruitt and Dale Earnhardt Jr. with Steve Park in 3rd. Here comes the lead. Earnhardt Jr. going to turn 3.
And the crowd goes crazy on the front straightaway. They really pull for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's got a lot of pressure right now, Steve Park, and he got
he hits him and turns him around. Caution is out. And everyone else will drive through that smoke screen to the caution flag as Steve Park and Scott Pruitt make contact.
Steve Park just barely touched him as they were entering out of turn 4 there, and it was just enough to turn him there.
Doesn't take much of a touch at that point of the racetrack. You're almost out of control anyway, and just a little bit of a touch, and around he went. That's too bad. Scott Pruitt had his best run going of his NASCAR Winston Cup career.
He had just given the low lane on the racetrack. Not given, but allowed Dale Earnhardt Jr. the bottom lane. Earnhardt Jr. went by for the lead. Steve Park tried to follow through. The hole closed up. And Pruitt's car, you can't see the damage from this shot, but there is some. Roof flap, that's an aerodynamic device designed to keep the cars on the ground when they turn around, put their tail into the wind. The pit crew will knock that one back down into position, and hopefully Scott Pruitt can stay in this race.
He's got a lot of damage there. The car is kind of doglegging down through there. The left rear, you can see, has a lot of damage there.
Let's have a look at what happened.
Steve Park in the one there, right there. They just barely make contact.
And around he goes. Kevin LePage did a good job of dodging it. Terry Labonte comes along, goes down to the inside. Here comes Dale Jarrett and Mike Skinner. Here it is again. Just a little bit of a nudge coming up right here. And that sent the back end of Pruitt's forward around.
Let's show you what Ron Hornaday, or excuse me, what Dale Earnhardt Jr. saw in his mirror.
Mike, it's amazing there wasn't more contact there. They were leading the race. They were the first 3 cars, and it was a miracle that a lot of people didn't get caught up in that wreck.
Well, the best thing that happened there, buddy, was Pruitt, after he hit the wall, was able to keep the car against the wall, and everybody else had a clear path down to the inside and to the caution flag.
As he comes into the pits, so does the rest of the field, all coming down to make those adjustments.
Let's go to Dick Berggren.
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to come in and take 4 tires. He is a little bit loose in and a bit tight coming out. They're going to try to adjust the car for that, in part with tire pressure at least. Crew now over the wall. Jackman, Jeff Clark, has the right side of the car up in the air. 4-tire change. Right front tire bounds toward the 32 car. And let's go to Ralph Shaheen.
Kevin LePage is in making changes on his car. He was a little loose off, so he's going to make an air pressure judgment, taking the air pressure down a little bit. Steve Park came in. He took the track bar down 1 round as well.
And a spinner as Elliott Sadler gets turned around. He got shuffled off the edge of the asphalt as everyone merged out coming out of their pit. And with all the rain last night, he was stuck in the mud.
And, Mike, one thing that happened here, a lot of the cars that were running back in the pack only took on 2 tires. So they were coming down, they were pitting back down pit road. They were coming at a pretty good clip, and he was there, and he was coming out, and as you say, got clipped. Or was he coming in?
The traffic jam down pit road looked much like the one coming into the racetrack, and there is still a line of traffic of folks trying to get in. Well, this caution is the first one of the day. 19 laps are complete here in Texas.
Imagine living life on a grander scale. Imagine tasting water when it's brand new, or being one with nature without going it alone. Introducing Ford Excursion. Discover the ultimate in capability. From Ford Outfitters, offering you the most far-reaching sport utilities on Earth. Ford Outfitters, no boundaries.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Amazing, that car never ages.
To help keep your car young, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car. Buy a case of Haviland Formula 3 and get this collectible die-cast car for $4.99. Hurry, they're going fast.
Go where you wanna go.
Many driving problems have been answered by Goodyear innovation. AquaTread wet traction, high-performance Eagles, all-terrain Wranglers, and AquaSteel run flat. That's serious technology. Freedom from worry. What's on the horizon? More new solutions for your peace of mind.
Serious freedom. Goodyear, Goodyear.
your regular internet homepage. And here's i1.com. It's free. You use it like Yahoo, Excite, or other search engines. Only i1.com gives away $10,000 every day, $1 million a month, and $10 million on tax day. Which one would you choose?
Very loyal to this site. I'm not going to abandon it for some new guy with a truckload of cash.
You're kidding.
Of course. Do I look like an idiot? Look at this cash.
Introducing i1.com. Why wouldn't you?
Tonight on 60 Minutes, the young beauty who grew up to become Queen Rania of Jordan and a troubled teenager who grew up to become Eric Clapton. Tonight.
Welcome back to Texas. We're under caution. On this replay, watch the 1 of Steve Park and the 5, the red car, Terry Labonte. Everybody's trying to get out to that outside lane, and they just squeeze Elliott Sadler off into the grass, which is very wet.
Yeah, he was pitting on the far end of the pit, so he'd already made his pit stop and was coming out and just got squeezed over there. And there's Jeff Burton in the 99 car having to take evasive action there.
And remember, there's no tread on these tires, so they have no traction at all out there in the mud. Let's go to Steve Park's pit for an update and Ralph.
Well, Mike, Steve Park has had a pretty aggressive start to this race, as you've noticed, and so NASCAR has gone on the radio to his crew chief and asked Steve, please settle down a little bit or we're going to keep an eye on you. So Steve Park, they're telling him to just ease up a little bit.
Yeah, the next thing he would see is a flag, and they'd come in and talk to him for a while. But, you know, he's just trying so very hard. He's got a great race car, and it's hard to put a governor on that.
All right, down in the first pit there of Scott Pruitt down toward turn 1. He's lost a lap. He's been there in the pit so long. Dick, can they get it fixed?
Yeah, they're working on it, Mike. They're trying to straighten out the front end. The front wheels aren't pointing correctly, and here comes the green flag, and Pruitt's not going to beat the pack out with that one. Ricky Rudd also in here to get the front end aligned in his car, and there goes Pruitt. And the crew is absolutely disgusted that they didn't get him out sooner.
We're back under green. Mike Skinner, Joe Nemechek, 2 of those cars that took on just 2 tires to gain track position. As Ned pointed out, they're going to battle Rusty Wallace for the lead.
Well, I know one thing. They hate to see that 31 out in front because at the sister track here in Atlanta, that car was a very dominant car with Mike Skinner. Had engine problems right near the end of the race, but he really had the car beat all day long.
Yeah, he was about to get his first NASCAR Winston Cup points victory.
So, Ned, we'll add him to your list at the top of the day of couldas, wouldas, and shouldas.
You're right.
As he came oh so close.
Rusty Wallace making a move on the inside there on Mike Skinner into turn 3.
Last week's winner becomes this week's leader. Skinner tightens it right up on his rear bumper.
And Rusty will get the 5 bonus points for leading a lap. For you fans that might not be familiar with NASCAR Winston Cup racing, any driver who leads a lap during the competition, whether it's in green flag conditions or under caution flag, gets 5 bonus points.
And Ned, that's the first lap that Rusty Wallace has ever led at Texas.
He's had some good runs here, but not out front.
Just behind these 2 guys that we're watching race very hard for the lead right now, the 22 of Ward Burton is moving in. Destroyed his car in practice here, took a backup, qualified with very few laps on it. Look at him go now. This car is really on the move right now, the 22 of Ward Burton.
Looks like he's able to keep it right down on the bottom of the racetrack, which is good at this point of the race. And there's Matt Kenseth right behind Ward Burton in the number 22, the Pontiac, and Matt Kenseth in the Ford number 17 right behind him. Kenseth doing a good job. He's another of the rookies.
Well, running up front is a good tonic. The last 2 finishes for Burton, 3rd at Bristol, and the win at Darlington. Dick Berggren has more.
But the car is not exactly the way Ward Burton would like it. Like, you realize he only had about an hour's worth of practice in that race car because of demolishing his primary car. The problem, he can't feel the throttle. He has told the crew that he wishes he had a sniffer throttle spring in it. If there's any way to fix it, he'd like to have that happen. That would be a long pit stop.
Back for 13th place, Kenny Irwin. Felix Sabat is 42. Last year's winner of this race, Terry Labonte in the 5, and there's Steve Park battling. And here comes Park's boss and car owner, Dale Earnhardt in the 3.
Wonder how you race your boss. Do you give him any flack? I don't think so. These guys race pretty hard against each other.
Well, tell me, you used to be Richard Petty's teammate. How did you race him?
Well, I knew one thing. If I wrecked him, I didn't have to go to Roundup and find out whether I had a job or not.
Bill Stevens.
Mike, a contrast in pit strategy in that last pit stop. Dale Earnhardt came in and took 4 tires. His crew chief, Kevin Hamlin, wanted to take a look at the tires coming off of that car to look at the wear, to help him later in the race to gauge what they would do. Rusty Wallace came in. They took 2 tires. Robin Pemberton was more interested in track position early in the race, and it worked. They picked up 9 spots,
including the lead. That's Wallace out front on the left of your screen. Ward Skinner right with him, and look at the lead they've opened up.
They've opened up a good lead, and Ward Burton, we talked about a moment ago how well he was running. He has really dropped back now to about the 10th or 11th position. 11th now.
Ned, I was watching him. He got way up on the high side of the racetrack, and now everybody's freight training him, just going right on by.
Well, buddy, if you bang your foot and you get it so you can't really feel that throttle, what does that do for your feel of the race car?
Well, the throttle's just like the steering. You drive the car with the throttle, so if you can't feel it, it's one of the good senses you have inside a race car to make it do what you want it to do.
He gets in line there just ahead of Terry Labonte, and that will move Burton back to 12th place.
Preacher, just tell me if I'm clear.
Yes, sir.
For more on Ward Burton, Ken Squires.
Well, I'm amazed he's doing anything with his car. Remember, this is a fresh car. He crashed that car on Friday. They did not make the Friday session, final practice period. They were still working on it. They changed the motor. Then on Saturday, happy hour, they didn't get a chance to run. The only lap they turned was that qualifying lap that got him up into 9th position. And he is just doing an amazing job, and he is sore. He's walking with a very severe limp as he ambled out to that Caterpillar number 22 this morning.
Let's go back at the front. Rusty Wallace on the left, Mike Skinner, but have a look who's coming. Not only Bobby Labonte in that green 18, but here comes Earnhardt Jr. back to the front. He restarted 8th. He's up to 4th.
Right now, I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. may have the quickest car out there, but Bobby Labonte has the knack on these types of racetracks. He owns Atlanta. He might own Texas if he keeps running like he's running today.
Our Circuit City cam on board Bobby Labonte, looking back at Earnhardt Jr. Already in just 25 laps, 7 different leaders of this race. Labonte looking ahead at race leaders, Rusty Wallace in the Ford and Mike Skinner's Chevrolet. For more on Labonte, here's Ralph.
Mike, I spoke to his crew chief, Jimmy Maycar, this morning in the garage area about why he thinks Bobby Labonte is in this position now to really chase a championship. He says, I noticed Bobby noticing the little things more than ever before. He visualizes everything around him. He didn't used to do that before. The little mistakes would cost him a place or two here or there, which cost you big points in the chase for the Winston Cup. Not anymore. Bobby Labonte is a mature driver ready to claim his first title.
Runner-up for the championship last year. And Ward Burton continues to backslide.
He'd gotten back on the low groove there and had run pretty good for a few laps, Mike, and then all of a sudden the car gets under him and he gets up in that second groove and lost a couple more positions.
We're going to have a fight for the front as the front 4 are closing up together.
Boy, Bobby Labonte with Dale Earnhardt Jr. drafting along with him, he's run the leaders down very, very quickly. You're looking now at Dale Earnhardt's car as they start down, Dale Earnhardt Jr. as they start down the back straightaway. These cars are absolutely flying around this racetrack.
Goodyear with a new tire here, and that means higher speeds, particularly corner speeds. Let's have a look with Joe Nemechek and our Fritos onboard telemetry at speed and RPM.
Well, you can see as he's in the turn, the RPMs gets down in the mid-70s, but now they go up, the speed goes up with the RPMs. Over 8,000 RPMs. A little bit of brake as he went into the turn just to get the car set. Then he starts picking up speed, and you see that speed now going up over 185, 188 miles an hour.
Then explain that. You don't so much use the brake to slow the car as you do to set the car in the corner.
Well, when you go in, you can almost run wide open around this racetrack. You do have to decelerate just a little bit, but it's better rather than just lifting all the way off the gas. Just hit the brakes a little bit because it won't affect the setup of the race car. It won't dump weight as much going into the corner as it would if you let off the gas and then back on the gas again.
From our Lycos camera on board Johnny Benson as he passes number 12, Jeremy Mayfield. Mayfield now at 7th, and Johnny Benson has taken over 6th as he climbs the ladder. Bill Stevens has more.
Mike, Johnny Benson's on a tear. Remember, he started 26, has worked his way up to 6th, but his crew chief there, James Ince, a little bit concerned. The last pit stop, he doesn't think they got enough fuel into the car. He's hoping for another caution to even the playing field.
38 laps complete. First and only caution of the day so far, back at lap 18 when Steve Park and Scott Pruitt got together in turn 4.
Yeah, they must have not got any fuel in it because they hadn't run that far when they had the first caution.
They're not very much.
Rusty Wallace the leader at lap 39. It's Ford, Chevy, Pontiac. How's that for parity? Wallace, Skinner, and Labonte are the front 3. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 4th. And Matt Kenseth, fellow rookie, is 5th.
Guys who know cars know when to reach for the right tool. That's why they reach for wrenchhead.com, an incredible tool to get auto parts fast and easy. Log on for millions of replacement parts, performance parts, accessories and gear, top brand names, all at great prices. Or just hang out with other wrench heads. It's everything a wrench head needs. Well, almost everything. Wrenchhead.com. Are you a wrench head?
Just getting by isn't enough. I want to succeed. That means doing more, being smarter, performing at my best. It's a demanding life, and it uses up nutrients. New Centrum Performance helps replace them.
It starts as a complete Centrum Multi. Then we add energy essential nutrients, including increased levels of key B vitamins, antioxidants, plus ginseng and ginkgo.
It helps energize my mind and body. Life's demanding, but I thrive on it.
Centrum Performance. Life demands it.
You missed a spot.
Presenting The Day at the Gordons, where racing champion Jeff Gordon and his wife Brooke eat new Fritos chili and scoops. A hearty cup of chili and loads of Fritos corn chips. It's fast, it's filling, it's Fritos. Perfect for people on the go. New Fritos chili and scoops and sloppy Joe and scoops. Nothing goes faster.
Okay, ma'am. You claim Jeff Burton led you to believe the Exide Select battery was only for race cars?
That's right, Your Honor.
And Mr. Burton?
Not guilty, Your Honor. All I said was the Exide 99 team needs a tough, reliable battery out on the track.
Hey, I need a reliable battery, too.
Yeah. But, Your Honor,
That's enough.
The Exide Select battery. It's not just for race cars.
Award for the plaintiff.
The FBI's best agent is going inside the mob. Now, any day, any minute, could be his last. Foul Code begins in 2 days on CBS.
44 laps are complete in the DirecTV 500. Rusty Wallace's Ford continues to lead Mike Skinner's Chevy, Bobby Labonte's Pontiac, and the Chevy of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now there's your front 4, and they have opened up quite a gap on 5th place Matt Kenseth. It's 3.2 seconds from Earnhardt Jr. back to the 5th place car.
Not anymore. Johnny Benson just got by him to take over that spot.
So move Benson up to 5th and displace Kenseth to 6th. There they are at the bottom of your screen. New paint job for Benson this week. As the leaders back to turn 1. Rusty opening up a little bit of ground here. About half a second on Mike Skinner.
You know, talking about 50 victories, when I talked to Rusty Wallace about finally getting that 50th victory, he got, you know, his 49th last year, and he thought he'd get the 50th and it'd be over with. He said it was such a burden. Now he can go back to living again because it was one of his great goals in life to win 50 races. He said it was like somebody lifted a weight off of him.
His goal now, 51.
Then 52.
Terry Labonte started this race from the pole and led it. He is now back at 10th place. Let's get an update from Dick Berger.
We can really have a neat time down here listening to the drivers on the radios talking to their crews. And about 8 or 9 laps ago, Terry Labonte radioed to his and said, I really need more engine. He was complaining he just didn't have enough motor. That's when he was behind Mark Barton. Martin, the number 6. That very same lap, he closed about 3 car lengths on Martin at the end of the straightaway. You only do that one way. Motor. Since then, he has gone by Mark Martin. He's closing in on the leaders. So he maybe doesn't have as much motor as he'd like, Mike, but he's got a good bit of it there under the hood.
Ned, did you ever meet a driver who had enough motor?
No, I don't think so.
No, never have either.
No, everybody wants more power.
For 11th place, Mark Martin now has Steve Hart right behind him. Most of Hart's career spent in the open-wheel NASCAR Modifieds, where he finished second in the championship. Spent some time in Dale Earnhardt's Busch car. Almost won the Busch race here in '97. Was running up front. The lapped car took him out.
Mike, our leaders in just a moment or two are going to be in lap traffic, and I'll tell you that makes a lot of difference in race cars. A lot of time when you start running other cars down, it changes the aerodynamics of the car, and what's good working up to lap traffic don't work as well after you get up there.
Rusty Wallace is going to lap past Scott Pruitt. Pruitt will now be 3 laps down. He lost 2 in the pits as a result of his collision with Steve Hart that brought out the race's only caution so far back at lap 18.
Darrell Waltrip would be the next driver to go a lap down. He's not quite in the picture there, but he's not too far ahead of Rusty. There he is on the left of your screen.
Running well over the race record set last year by about 10 miles an hour, but it's early yet. Dick Bergman told us in the pre-race show an average of 9 cars crash out of this race every one of the 3 years it's been held. So we have a ways to go. Remember Elliott Sadler, who got off in the mud outside the pit lane? There he is. He's picked up 20 spots from where he had to restart after spinning out there. Now runs in the 21st position. Sadler, Jarrett, Labonte.
Labonte making that outside pass, similar to what he made when he passed DJ for the lead a year ago in this race. Terry takes over 9th, DJ back to 10th.
You know, it's not often on CBS we see Dale Jarrett getting passed. Let's see. At Michigan last year, well, that was a snoozer. Jarrett kind of ran away from everybody. He won the Daytona 500 this year on CBS. And I will point out, Ned has the same shirt and tie on that when Dale won that race back in February. So we'll see.
Well, we don't have superstitions in this.
No, not much.
You could argue back and say it wasn't a snoozer to the Jarretts, I'll tell you.
Well, no.
A lot of fun.
I'm kidding. Now, Jeff Gordon, remember, has not had a top 5 finish since his win at Charlotte last October.
He is currently running in 19th position, started 23rd.
And he has yet to have a top 25 finish at this racetrack. As he said in the pre-race show, this track has just not been kind to him. He's run well, he hasn't finished well.
Turn 4's been pretty bad for him. Both wrecks that he's had here were right off turn 4.
There you saw Bobby Hamilton just went a lap down.
And going into the pits is Ken Strader. This would be an unexpected stop for Strader. Going to put at least right side tire on his Pontiac. As you watch second place Mike Skinner on your left and third place Bobby Labonte to the right. They are 0.7 of a second behind race leader Rusty Wallace. Strader away, but he's going to lose a lap with that pit stop.
Yeah, there goes the lead car by the start-finish line down into turn 1. So, yeah, he's a lap down just by making that pit stop.
They're running around the track now in between 29 and 30 seconds. And they can make a pit stop in about 16 seconds. But when you slow down and get your speed back up, it's impossible to make a stop and not lose a lap.
Battle for 10th place. Jeremy Mayfield. And Terry Labonte. Now here's Wallace about to lap Rick Mast, the new driver for A.J. Foyt. Mast had been contracted to Larry Hedrick in the 41 car, but here he is in A.J.'s car. He's been signed by A.J. for the season. Mike Bliss started out the year, and then Dick Trickle aboard. For more on Rusty Wallace, let's go to Bill Stevens.
Well, Mike, we already noted that they came in on that last pit stop and got 2 tires. However, they may be paying the price. Robin Pemberton, the crew chief for Rusty, just told me that car is getting tight now. Rusty is turning the steering wheel. The car does not want to respond as it should. So they got the track position they wanted, but now they're hoping for that yellow flag so they can get them in and make the adjustments they'll need.
Second place is heating up. Here comes Labonte closing in on Mike Skinner's second position. It's still Ford, Chevy, and Pontiac in the front 3 spots here in Texas. CBS Sports coverage of the DirecTV 500 continues after this message and a word from your local CBS station.
The family has always put in the forefront to protect the quality and the standards set by Adolphus Busch.
The deep sense of pride that my grandfather taught me, that my father continues to teach me.
I think he would be very happy that the generations of his family have practiced what he taught us.
What if your car knew you? Would it make you feel more at home? Could it put you in a more comfortable driving position? What if it could make more room for your life? Prevent problems before they happen? Or light the road better at night? It's time to stop wondering what if. Introducing the new 2000 Ford Taurus. More comfort, more convenience.
Chuck Norris is the President's Man. CBS tonight.
This lady, amazing. Oh, yeah? Chief financial officer. Smart, turns pennies into dollars. Me and her, pals. I'll introduce you.
Michael, how's it going?
Same carpool.
Carpooling, vanpooling, and the HOV Express. To get on board the Traffic's rideshare program, call 1-800-700-RIDE.
She acts like she doesn't know me.
How do you achieve the largest increase in sales month after month over every other Ford dealer in Hampton Roads? It's simple. Price sells, and the figures prove it. We lead the way as this area's fastest growing Ford dealership with unbeatable prices on all new Ford cars and trucks. Like new Ford F-150 4x2s as low as $15,495, or new Ford Windstars starting at $29,995. Why buy anywhere else when you can buy from the Ford sales leader, the new Kim Knox Ford?
Still the one, Kim Knox Ford.
News Channel 3 online, WTKR.com.
TV 500 is sponsored by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR. Hey, race fans, this Bud's for you. Nextel, how business gets done. And by Pep Boys, cars like us, people love us.
How unpredictable is Texas Motor Speedway? Of the top 7 drivers right now, 5 of them have never won a Winston Cup race. Mike Skinner in 2nd, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 4th, Johnny Benson in 5th, Matt Kenseth in 6th, Kevin LePage in 7th. Only leader Rusty Wallace and the man you're riding with, Bobby Labonte, know the way to victory lane in this division.
Boy, if I was ever to run another race, I'd love to have a car that would stick to the bottom like Bobby Labonte's car was in turns 3 and 4 just then. That car looks like it's on a string, right down on the white line, picks the throttle back up, never moves off that white line.
Fastest man on the racetrack, buddy, is Jeff Burton. He is up to 10th after starting 37th. First round qualifying, didn't get fast enough. Second round rained out, so he had to take a provisional start. He's gained 28 spots. And his crew chief, Frankie Stoddard, started out as a youngster in the pits, watching whatever Butch Elms did to his car at Little Quarter-Mile Dirt Bear Ridge Speedway in Vermont. To find out how Stoddard got from there to here, you'll have to pick up the inaugural issue of Dick Berggren's new magazine, Speedway Illustrated. Great story on Frankie Stoddard, and that'll be on newsstands May 1st.
We saw Bobby Labonte take over 2nd place from Mike Skinner.
Yeah, that car is very, very good. Talking about the 99 car, they spent last year just setting up for the race. They didn't worry about qualifying. They started in the back so many times that they're good at this. They can work their way to the front.
Certainly nothing new for them.
67 laps complete for Warren Labonte. Here's Ralph.
Mike, the last few years we've come here to the Texas racetrack, we've had trouble getting happy hour in. That's that final 1 hour of practice that takes place on Saturday afternoon. Gives the teams a final shot at setting up their race car. Crew Chief Jimmy Maycar and driver Bobby Labonte decided they would take the Saturday morning session and make that their happy hour. They threw a handful of setups at their race car and got a good baseline for the race setup so that when they were a little loosey and a little tight off in the early running of this race, they knew what to do. They put on 2 tires, made a wedge adjustment, raised the track bar up 2 rounds, and now Bobby's got a great handling car, as noted by Buddy Baker, and he's charging to the front.
That didn't just benefit Bobby, Ralph. It also benefited Tony Stewart. You're riding with Stewart, who is now 19. Maycar and Stewart's crew chief Greg Zipadelli share an awful lot of information. And Stewart, who started 38, has now halved the gap between his starting spot and the lead. He's 19. Now Earnhardt got a little boxed in there.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon went around him as they came up on Darrell Waltrip, who now has gone a lap down, and an unscheduled pit stopper a little bit early, maybe not unscheduled, is Johnny Benson. In the pits here, was running in the top 10.
Bill?
There, yeah. That's exactly right. This is why James Ince was so concerned before. This is more a stop for fuel than it is for tires, but while they have him in, they want to get more new tires on that race car and get him out, but under green, that cost him.
It's going to cost him at least a lap, Bill. At the time of his stop, Benson and Bill Elliott were the only single-car teams represented in the top 20. And now Benson will drop a lap back to at least 35th place.
Now, what he does not want to see is a caution right now, because he's really in the hole right now, and he'll have to drive his way out of it, but he certainly does not want to see a caution on the speedway.
Well, the others will have to make a pit stop within 15 or 20 laps, and certainly, or maybe even a little bit less than that.
Second place, Dale Earnhardt Jr. underneath Mike Skinner. Third place, excuse me. Third place. We still have Wallace in front and Bobby Labonte in second.
And he's closing. Bobby Labonte is closed right up on Rusty. They came up on a couple of cars running side by side right in front of him. Bobby was gaining a little bit each lap, but now that really allowed him to get right up on Rusty's, almost on his bumper. As they put a lap on Brett Bodine there in the car number 11.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how good the car is up out of that bottom part of the racetrack. We know he's lightning fast around the bottom. Bobby looked very quick on the high side of the racetrack also.
Now they're going to work underneath the 41, Gary Bradbury, making his return to Winston Cup Racing, driving for Larry Hedrick. His first start since Rockingham.
Bobby Labonte likes that a little bit better than having to go on the outside. Bobby, of course, the NASCAR Winston Cup points leader going into this race. He'd like to get up there and pass Rusty Wallace and get those 5 bonus points. And boy, they work hard for that 5 bonus points, because they add up as the year goes on.
Oh, yeah. Championships have been won by bonus points.
So Rusty Wallace leads Bobby Labonte by a narrow margin. 73 laps are complete as they try to tame the asphalt frontier.
It's more than just a way to mow your lawn. It's a connection to 163 years of hard-earned truths passed down from the Great Plains to your backyard. It's the technology of the most advanced farm equipment in the world, helping you care for your own private piece of the planet. It is John Deere Solid, and now it can be yours for less than $2,000. The LT-133. See for yourself. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Now at Pep Boys, all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for only $99, and all 70,000-mile tires 4 for $169.
Pep Boys, cars like us, people love us.
When it comes to getting the right parts fast and easy, guys who know their way around under the hood always turn to their best friend, wrenchhead.com. The place to buy auto parts online. Log on for millions of replacement parts, top brand names, performance parts, accessories and gear, even hard-to-find parts. Or just hang out with other wrench heads with wrenchhead.com. Getting the right part is a snap. Are you a wrench head?
Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Now at Pep Boys, all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for only $99, and all 70,000-mile tires 4 for $169.
Pep Boys, cars like us, people love us.
Are these your final numbers?
These are our final numbers.
What do you think, Jack? It looks pretty good from this end.
I never thought you guys could pull this one off.
Have we ever let you down?
Not yet. Hey, weren't you supposed to go away for your anniversary?
Oh, you know us. All work, no play.
Great job, guys. Great.
We're back to the grind.
Thanks for the opportunity, Jack.
Nextel's i1000 Plus comes with a crystal clear speakerphone, so you can take care of business from anywhere. Nextel, how business gets done.
If you have the reins on him, if you're fighting for him, Ned.
How business gets done.
At the Texas Motor Speedway, only one caution thus far in the event as we check the race summary. 79 laps have been completed, 115 miles, and at the present time, Bobby Labonte has pushed that car out in front of Rusty Wallace, who's been fighting for second place and looks like he's losing that right now to Dale Earnhardt Jr. Let's join right now with Mike Joy and the guys in the booth.
Pit stops have begun. Ken Stacy Compton has just been in. Scott Pruitt for a second time, and now Ward Burton is making his first green flag pit stop of the day. Bobby Labonte has taken the lead, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. to second. Here's Rusty Wallace, though, on pit road. As soon as Wallace surrendered the lead, in he came. Let's check first with Dick Berggren.
Well, Ward Burton is going to be coming in because the handle has absolutely gone away on that race car. They think he may have a tire going down. They're also ready to put a rubber in the right rear spring of that car. This is going to be a long pit stop as a result of the work that they are in the process of doing. Let's go to Bill.
Rusty Wallace halfway through his pit stop. 4 tires. Another pound of air in the right rear. They were going to make a chassis adjustment, but called it off. Filled the car with fuel, and he gets out a very good pit stop for Rusty Wallace.
Brett Bodine is in. So is Wallace's teammate Jeremy Mayfield on pit road. Robert Presley and Jeff Gordon come to the pit lane, and here's Dale Earnhardt and Michael Waltrip.
Sterling Marlin gets his service and goes back out. Ricky Rudd is coming in. John Andretti is coming in. These are all scheduled pit stops now.
They are, Ned, and the 2 leaders are still on the racetrack. You talk about a calamity right now. If the yellow was to fly now, it would really make some of these cars have to work very hard to get back up towards the lead.
Jeff Fuller, Terry Labonte making pit stops. Joe Nemechek is in. Bill Elliott and Tony Stewart. Bill?
Dale Earnhardt is in. That's an ill-handling race car. They made 2 chassis adjustments on the car, 4 tires. They even changed the air pressure in it. They are working from behind here. The car is not responding to Dale.
Here's the race leader, Bobby Labonte on pit road. Kenny Irwin is in as well. Darrell Waltrip and Matt Kenseth making pit stops. Here's Ralph.
Bobby Labonte making his way down pit road. 3,500 RPMs is what he's watching in the tachometer, so he stays right at the right pit lane speed. He brings it to a stop. They're very happy with the handling on this car. They're not going to change anything but 4 tires, and they're going to also put in full 2 fuel loads as he comes in to change tires on the left side now with Jeff Chandler working at one end and Barry Cook at the other, and he is underway.
Adam Petty, Mike Skinner, and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
All coming in for scheduled pit stops. Dale Jarrett comes in as Bill Elliott goes out.
Let's go to Dick.
Junior's crew anxiously anticipating his stop. Down pit road, he slides to his stop. 3,500 RPM, they kept telling him. Did not want a speeding penalty. He slowed, he stalled the race car. But Tony Eury Jr. now around the left side of the race car. He's the front tire changer. Son of the crew chief. Almost done. Junior, another great stop.
Dave
Let's go to Ralph.
Big trickle in. Ralph.
Mike, they just completed a stop on the 31 car. That car wasn't handling perfectly, but they made some adjustments on the 31 to get him ready, and he's backing out.
Kevin LePage, Ed Barrier, Steve Park, Mark Martin, and Jeff Burton on pit road. 85 laps complete. These are the first green flag pit stops of the day. LePage led the last lap ahead of Park and Martin. They've all pitted. Bill?
Steve Park is in. They just put 1 round of wedge into the race car. They're finishing up the left side tires. Little bit of a hang-up and a little lazy getting out of the pits. They also took 2 cans of fuel, and away he goes.
And look at this battle. Rusty Wallace, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Johnny Benson all battling.
Now, Johnny Benson, this has put him back in the cycle where he wanted to be after having to make that early pit stop, so it's worked out well. But he'll have to stop before they do again if this thing continues to go green. But right now, he's in great shape.
Yeah, this will be the battle, I think, for second place, Ned. Everyone on the board above them, and caution has come out.
Caution flag.
Pointing toward turn 2 as caution is out, and one car is working its way around on the apron. Stacy Compton has made contact. Oh, the left rear end's almost out of that car, buddy.
Yeah, the right rear's got some damage to it, and the right front tire you can see is very, very flat. He was up against the wall at some point in that wreck.
Well, Stacy Compton has been thrown and hogtied here by the Texas Motor Speedway, and we're under caution for the second time today. And I believe everyone made pit stops under green before that caution flag came out. The only exception might be Jimmy Spencer.
And Jimmy had gone a lap down, so that did not affect the leaders that much. But certainly gave him a big break. It'll probably put him back on the lead lap.
Bobby Hamilton comes in as we go to caution, and there's a look at Spencer. 11 leaders today, ties the record, but we're not even halfway home. Stay with us.
Cut! The dog is supposed to cry. So let's do one more. Are you finished?
Rex, you're supposed to cry. Think back to your worst day. That's your motivation. Motivation.
Cut it! Quit that!
I smell seafood.
Thank you!
Rex, about your next movie. Call me.
Just getting by isn't enough. I want to succeed. That means doing more, being smarter, performing at my best. It's a demanding life, and it uses up nutrients. New Centrum Performance helps replace them.
It starts as a complete Centrum Multi. Then we add energy essential nutrients, including increased levels of key B vitamins, antioxidants, plus ginseng and ginkgo.
It helps energize my mind and body. Life's demanding, but I thrive on it.
Centrum Performance. Life demands it.
Okay, man. You claim Jeff Burton led you to believe the Exide Select battery was only for race cars?
That's right, Your Honor.
And Mr. Burton?
Not guilty, Your Honor. All I said was the Exide 99 team needs a tough, reliable battery out on the track.
Hey, I need a reliable battery, too.
But, Your Honor,
That's
I was
enough.
The Exide Select battery. It's not just for race cars.
Award for the plaintiff.
It's an amazing April on The Late Show with David Duchovny, Faith Hill, Samuel L. Jackson, Ray Romano, Jack Hanna, and Paul Newman. Monday, don't miss Brooke Shields and Joni Mitchell.
'89 laps are completed. John Andretti comes to pit road for service. Now, Jimmy Spencer has made a pit stop under this caution flag. He was the race leader, but because he had not stopped. And Johnny Benson made a pit stop because he was out of sequence with the rest of the cars having pitted early. Let's show you why we're under caution here at lap 89.
We see that car coming off of turn 4, or was that turn 2, buddy? Anyway, it looked like he blew a tire.
He was going in turn 1 and actually got a little bit sideways there and then just got right up into the wall. Looked like maybe a tire might have gone flat, but he lost the back of the car first before it got up into the outside wall.
So rookie Stacy Compton from out of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series had his best qualifying effort of the year. And looks like the Mark Mellon car is out of the race. Let's check on pit road with Ralph.
Many things to focus on while they're making their pit stops. Well, CBS is always trying to come up with new ways of giving the viewers at home something different to look at. So we mounted this camera on Bobby Labonte's pit board. He stuck it out. Bobby made his pit stop, and when he was leaving, Instead of commenting about the great pit stop or how the new tires felt or whatever, Bobby said, hey, that's a pretty cool camera guy he's mounted up there. That's pretty neat. So you would think they'd have so much on their mind. Instead, they're busy just noticing everything. Dick?
There's Bobby Labonte. And in one lap, we'll go racing.
Bobby Labonte is the leader.
Rusty Wallace in second, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in third. Now Ward Burton, complaining of handling problems, now has dropped off the lead lap back to 38th place. Dick Bergman.
Yeah, they came in here, Mike, and took all 4 tires off. Tommy Baldwin, the crew chief, climbed underneath the car, took a look at all the springs, all the shocks. They bounced the car up and down. They said they could find nothing wrong with it, so they changed the air pressure right back to where they had started the race, where he was good. And they told him, good luck, buddy. And he's out there at 180 miles an hour. To Bill.
Well, you've heard the term, we're lucky to be here. Well, that certainly comes into play for the Rusty Wallace pit crew. I talked to Robert Pemberton this morning in the garages, and he was sweating bullets. His pit crew was socked in by weather in Mississippi, waiting for an airplane to get him here to Texas. They finally got a flight, and they got here to the track exactly 1 hour before the green flag.
27 cars are on the lead lap, Bill. Bobby Labonte, the leader. Rusty Wallace, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Mike Skinner, Matt Kenseth, the top 5. Jeff Burton, Terry Labonte, Kevin LePage, Dale Jarrett, Jeremy Mayfield, the top 10. Steve Park, Mark Martin, Jerry Nadeau, Jeff Gordon, Joe Nemechek, that's 15. Elliott Sadler, Bill Elliott, Dale Earnhardt, Kenny Irwin, Michael Waltrip is 20th. Jimmy Spencer, Johnny Benson, Bobby Hamilton, Dave Blaney, Sterling Marlin, Ricky Rudd, Tony Stewart. Those are the 27 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, and those 4 cars on the outside, when they drop the green flag, are on the tail end of the lead lap. And this is very dangerous because they're going to fight to stay in the lead lap as hard as they possibly can.
That's Dave Blaney, Sterling Marlin, Ricky Rudd, and Tony Stewart. Bobby Labonte right in the middle there. He's in the green car, and there are 4 cars that are on the tail end of the lead lap, as Betty said. Now,
well, now there's more, Ned, because the cars that started on the inside, led by Jeff Fuller, were a lap down, and they're also in front of race leader, the green number 18. Right middle of your screen was Bobby Labonte.
And he's on the inside of his teammate, Tony Stewart, trying to put him a lap down.
Ride with Bobby Labonte as he works underneath Ricky Rudd.
This is about the time, if you're Bobby Labonte, you have to tell yourself, you're fast, be patient, you have a car that can win, don't try to get them all in one turn.
Tony Stewart lined up right behind. Boy, traffic jam in the back straightaway.
It is heavy.
3 wide back behind the leader.
And even that's the leader. Bobby Labonte made it 3 wide, going by a couple of cars there.
One guy that really had it tough was Dale Earnhardt Jr. He got caught up in, when they dropped the green flag there, up in lap traffic there, and just really dropped back quite a ways.
Now in front of Labonte, Jeff Fuller, Dick Trickle, up there trying to stay on the tail end of the lead lap. And Robert Presley as well. That's Presley just in front of Labonte. Ralph?
Mike, when you're running in traffic like this, the way the air flows off the car in front of you, like it's doing right to Bobby Labonte, as you watch him chasing down the lead pack right now, that air can dramatically affect the way the front end of the car handles. Bobby Labonte was suffering what is known as an aero push. The air would come off of the car in front of him and make his car want to slide up the racetrack. Because now that there are 2 grooves working, Bobby feels he'll have a better opportunity to get around that aero push.
He's got a pretty good distance lead on the second place car. It was 1.7 seconds last time they came past, with a couple of lap cars in between. But he's got to work this traffic. Rusty Wallace second, Mike Skinner, Dale Earnhardt Jr. battling side by side for third. Or fourth, rather. There's your third place car. Earnhardt Jr.'s rookie nemesis, Matt Kenseth. That's yellow number 17.
Yeah, and he's got so much traffic around him. Jeff Burton there in the 99. All these guys are going back and forth around trying to get the advantage. You see Mike Skinner now got a little bit out of the throttle and give Earnhardt Jr. a break there in the center part of the corner.
Single file, and the fellows who are running for their racing lives right now are Jeff Fuller and Robert Presley. They are ahead of the race leader, Bobby Labonte, as we watch Bobby's older brother, defending champion in this race, driving number 5, Terry Labonte, and the outside pole sitter, Kevin LePage, running right with him.
That just goes to show you, even cars that are a lap down, they have good race cars. So right now they've picked it up, and Bobby Labonte hadn't been able to get by them, and they're not holding him up.
They've made pit stops, have fresh tires, and perhaps made adjustments on their cars, and they are good.
Here comes Earnhardt Jr. alongside fellow rookie Kenseth.
Strong race car. He made that move on the outside. Usually when you move out there, you get hung up and go back. He just went right on by Matt Kenseth.
Now he has the lap car of John Andretti just ahead. The Petty Pontiac. Working against the Bill Davis Pontiac 93 is Dave Blaney.
Sounds pretty good, Ned.
Well, buddy, car in the top groove, car in the bottom groove. How do you be patient in this situation?
Well, and Matt Kenseth making a move on the outside there. He got hung up, had to back out of the throttle. Now he's backpedaling a little. That's what you have to have, though, patience, because you can't panic and pull over into traffic just because they moved up on you.
And now Earnhardt Jr., he's got to look like that vulture in the cartoon saying, patience, heck, I'm going to go out and kill something. Because he wanted that spot, and Matt Kenseth blew on by him. Now here's Mike Skinner right behind him.
John Andretti on the outside of Earnhardt as they head down in turn one. And you could see the car actually get sideways entering the corner there. That's what we call taking the air off the spoiler. As Earnhardt Jr. started to turn in the corner, Andretti was on the outside and the car just went sideways, getting off into turn one.
Saw a little wiggle from Skinner there as he got up alongside Andretti. And here comes Jeff Burton from a provisional start. Coming toward the front, number 99. Up to 6th. Well, let's have a look now that the track has changed on our Fritos telemetry with Michael Waltrip. See if there's any difference in speed or RPM. 100 laps into this race. Little traffic there.
You see those RPMs going up there at about 8,600.
Ned, they qualified 192 miles an hour, and people are saying, where's the 192 at right now? But this is race conditions. You don't have the front end blocked off. They tape the nose of the car to get more downforce. The air passes over the car better, and you have fresh tires and everything. It's the best conditions when you qualify. Right now in race conditions, you won't see those speeds.
Bobby Labonte works over Robert Presley. Remember, this is one of Presley's favorite racetracks. He finished 3rd here 2 years ago. Driving at 77.
I bet Bobby's saying, well, this isn't all bad. I'm still leading. Nobody's catching me, and I'm sitting here with lap traffic, and they're pulling me along.
Now, he has gotten past Dick Trickle, and now Labonte will put Presley a lap down. So the only car between Labonte and daylight is the Pontiac of Jeff Fuller. There's Fuller. Battle for 7th place. 7th, 8th, and 9th. And a little further back than that. As they work underneath John Andretti, Dale Earnhardt, and Steve Park. That's 12th and 13th.
There's Mark Martin on the left of your screen in car number 6.
Dave Blaney, Earnhardt there in the number 3, the black car. As they head off down in the corners, this is not a walk in the park. I'm noticing a lot of wheel movement, sliding around. Fuller going a lap down now just in a second because Bobby Labonte has closed in on him.
So now Labonte has clear sailing for about half the racetrack around. And the 2nd place car from Rusty Wallace on back still has to negotiate that traffic to have a shot at Bobby Labonte.
And he's running over 2 seconds behind him.
Looking at this battle here, back about 16th position. And here's Jeff Burton trying to put the move to Mike Skinner. They are 5th and 6th. 106 laps complete in Texas. Bobby Labonte leads Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Conseco, NASCAR's official financial services provider. Step up.
Go where you wanna go.
Many driving problems have been answered by Goodyear innovation. AquaTread wet traction, high-performance Eagles, all-terrain Wranglers, and AquaSteel run flat. That's serious technology. Freedom from worry. What's on the horizon? More new solutions for your peace of mind.
Serious freedom. Goodyear, Goodyear.
Volunteers, we all have regular jobs. We can be coming from anywhere. We get a call, we need to get to the fire right now. Things that are going through our mind are the hazards we might face so that when we get on scene, we're ready to act. We need a truck that can handle anything we throw at it. 4 full-size doors gets us in and out quickly. Fits 6 people in the cab and there's a ton of room for cargo. Great truck.
Rock and roll! We love you!
To keep your car rocking, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car. Buy a case of Haviland Formula 3 and get this collectible die-cast car for $4.99. Hurry, they're going fast.
This CBS Sports Race Summary is sponsored by Nextel. How business gets done.
After 110 laps have been completed, 165 miles, 11 leaders up in front, 12 lead changes, a couple of cautions, and Stacy Compton in that second caution, a big victim there. He crashed, got through it, crashed earlier, and we've just had an incident over in turn number 2. Let's get back with the story. Here's Mike Joy.
Big crash up in turn 2, and there is one of the cars involved. Jeff Gordon again has been snake bit here in Texas. You see the damage to the hood and the left side of his Rick Hendricks Chevrolet, and there are other cars involved.
Mike, you're right, and a car has been on top of that car. You can see the hood there mashed straight down where a car has been on top of the hood.
Bill Elliott was definitely involved. He did get his car going and is going around the racetrack now trying to catch up. You see that debris on the racetrack.
One car, light blue car, got up into the wall pretty hard. That could have been Jerry Nadeau. Let's have a look. Blaney loose, everybody checks up, and it's Nadeau who goes around off Gordon's bumper.
Right behind Gordon was, and there's Bill Elliott. He's the one, Betty, that got up on top of Gordon.
Right on top. They're going down through there on 2 wheels, as a matter of fact. Bill Elliott very lucky not to get upside down.
Here it is again. They were running so close coming off of turn 2. See Chad Little in the green car getting slowed down.
From Johnny Benson.
Uh-oh, hole closed up too quick for him.
Whoa, look at Bill Elliott. He could go to the Joey Chitwood show if he wanted to. He went down through there on 2 wheels.
Here it is again as Nadeau goes hard into the wall.
Now, I want you to watch the 93 right there, Blaney. Look how he gets loose, checks up, and everybody else just accordions behind him.
Yeah, and he got touched by Nadeau. That really got Nadeau started on this wreck. Johnny Benson just caught up in the middle there, had nothing to do with it. Did a great job not to wipe his car out.
And the 2 Dallas-Fort Worth sponsored cars, Nadeau's and Benson's, both in trouble. Now here's Elliott's car being pushed back to the garage area.
A lot of damage on his Ford. Had that great run at Daytona, finished in 3rd place.
And Dick Berggren can give us an update.
Earnhardt Jr. just clicked off the best pit stop of the day, and every other pit stop he has pulled has been a great one. They're all in the 15-second range. The car has been absolutely perfect. He is even telling himself and his crew on the radio, I just have to be patient. Let's go to Ralph.
Pretty happy down here with the pit stop on the 18 as well. The World Pit Crew Champions of 1999 clicked up a 15.4-second stop. They're pretty happy with the handling of the car. It was getting a little bit tight. They made a slight air pressure adjustment, went up just a touch on the air pressures here with the 18, Bill Stevens.
Not too many happy people in the Rusty Wallace pit. That was the worst pit stop they've had today. An air hose was in the way. Rusty had to wait until they moved it from out in front of the car, and as we look at the leaderboard, they are sinking rapidly.
We'll have to check, Bill, because there's very little apparent damage to Johnny Benson's car. He was the last car into that skirmish with Bill Elliott up on top of Jeff Gordon. They're doing a little dent and fender work on the right front, though, of Benson's car. So it may be a little more serious than we first thought. CBS Sports coverage of the DirecTV 500 continues after this message and a word from your local CBS station.
Here's your regular internet homepage. And here's i1.com. You use it like Yahoo, Lycos, or other search engines. Only i1.com gives away $10,000 every day, $1 million a month, and $10 million on tax day. Which one would you choose?
Oh, I see. Someone's supposed to struggle with this, right? So let's bring out the blonde.
Just doing research.
I'll pick the one with all of the cash.
i1.com.
Yeah.
Introducing i1.com. Why wouldn't you?
Yesterday, to find good wood at a typical home improvement store, you had to search through stack after stack. Frankly, this was a waste of time. Today, with Lowe's exclusive Top Choice brand lumber, the search is over. Every piece is pre-inspected. Straighter, smoother, center cut, and graded prime. And Lowe's has all the other building materials you need, in stock at guaranteed low prices. Ambitious people rejoice and finish faster. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
Racing fans, when you've got to know more about your favorite drivers, upcoming races, team info, and rankings, you're in the driver's seat at cbs.sportsline.com.
Jason Gedrick stars in Falcone, beginning Tuesday on CBS.
It's no secret money's tight out there. Everybody is watching what they're spending. I'm no different. That's why I went to Mattress Discounters. I already knew Mattress Discounters had the best prices. They guarantee it. But I was surprised to find out that they also had the best service and a huge selection. I couldn't say that about a department or a furniture store. I walked out of Mattress Discounters knowing I got a great deal on my mattress.
Simmons Super Sale. Free bed frame or delivery and setup. See store for details.
It's here to clear the air.
I can see clearly now.
Toyota's Blue Sky Spring Event, where great cars, excellent values, and a gigantic selection come shining through.
Lease a well-equipped Camry for $239 a month for 36 months with $2,300 do-it signing, cash or trade. It's America's favorite. Your new beginning is here.
It's gonna be a bright, bright,
The Blue Sky Spring Event at your Toyota dealer.
It's new. It's for you. Free to rescue. Only on News Channel 3.
Beginning in just 3 nights, CBS presents an extraordinary television event, Falcone. See why People magazine says it's the show of the week. Don't miss Jason Gedrick's Falcone, starting Tuesday on CBS. Find out more about it on our website at cbs.com. Sky-high views of today's race, courtesy the Bud One Airship and Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR. 115 laps complete. We're under the 3rd caution of the day for a crash involving at least 4 cars. In turn 2, Bill Elliott, Jeff Gordon, Johnny Benson, Jerry Nadeau were involved. It was the 93 of Dave Blaney that got up and out of the groove, and everybody checked up to try to take avoidance. And several ended up in the wall, and Elliott ended up on top of the hood of Jeff Gordon's car.
They've continued to work on it, Mike. Each lap he comes in, they do a little bit more work. See, they put a lot of tape in there, but the aero package of his Chevrolet is not what it needs to be to run the speeds they run here.
Let's get out the Gordon file on Texas as they work on Bill Elliott's car in the garage area. 1997, slow car, Jimmy Spencer. Gordon is leading, Ernie Irvin in the wall. Hello. And Gordon knocked out. 1 year later. Ow. That's gotta hurt.
Oh. Cut a tire down coming off turn 4.
Last year, he finished 30th. That's Gordon's best run here. Bill Stevens is back there where all of the hammers are banging in the garage at Bill Elliott's car.
Yeah, Mike, Bill Elliott, not a happy guy, very frustrated. Bill, you've been watching the work on the car here. You're not feeling too good.
Well, I feel fine. I mean, it's kind of been par for the course. I mean, just, you know, last week at Bristol, we broke a transmission. It was kind of a weird deal, and then, you know, I just got caught up in that deal. Wasn't a lot I could do. You know, Jeff got into the, whatever happened, he in the 25 car, and then I would have been okay, but then I got hit from behind, and one of them days.
You going to get back into this thing?
Oh, yeah, we'll get back and ride around a little bit.
Let's go to Ralph Shaheen.
Mike, they've been very busy down here in Jeff Gordon's pit working on the number 24, trying to get him back into some form of aerodynamic shape. The biggest problem is the body, especially all around the front end, trying to get that car to handle the best they can aerodynamically. In fact, they're saying she's not pretty, but we're going to do the best we can to get as many points as we can here today.
Nothing aerodynamic about duct tape, is there?
No, and I'm just looking at the hood. That's the carburetor just under the P on the front of that DuPont Chevrolet there as he goes down, and it's a miracle it didn't knock the carburetor all the way off that car.
That's the truth. And you know, they talked about the Chevrolets at the beginning of the year not having downforce on the front end. Hey, maybe that dent there will put more downforce on the front end.
Ned.
Not what he wants, is it?
No.
Saw Jerry Nadeau's car headed for the hauler. The Danbury, Connecticut driver is out of the race. Let's set the field for you. We have 21 cars on the lead lap. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the class of the field. Bobby Labonte is second. Steve Park is third. Mark Martin fourth, the highest he's been today. And Jeremy Mayfield is fifth in the number 12. Rookie Matt Kenseth is number 17. There's that yellow car in sixth place. Dale Jarrett, seventh. Kevin LePage, the outside pole sitter, eighth. The blue roof white car is Rusty Wallace. He is ninth. Terry Labonte is 10th. Mike Skinner's 11th. Dale Earnhardt's 12th. Joe Nemechek, Elliott Sadler, Michael Waltrip, and also on the lead lap, Jimmy Spencer, Jeff Burton, way back, 17th. Kenny Irwin, Bobby Hamilton, Johnny Benson, and Jeff Gordon are still on the lead lap, but those cars were damaged somewhat in the turn 2 crash.
Riding with Bobby Labonte here in the Interstate Batteries car with the Circuit City camera. I think I mentioned in the pre-race show, Mike, that we'd had 11 straight winners, not a repeat. Bobby Labonte is the only driver who has repeated during that period of time. He did win the last race of the season in Atlanta.
Let's go green at lap 118. Trouble front straightaway. Sterling Marlin slams into Elliott Sadler, and Marlin goes for a ride.
Go, pace car, go. Man, the pace car was going down pit road. It looked like Sterling was on his way into there.
A break for Dick Trickle. Dick Trickle's out in front of the race leader.
And I think the caution will have to come out because Sterling probably won't be able to get out of that wet grass.
Here comes Jeff Fuller trying to race the leaders back, and Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart trying to get back before Dale Earnhardt Jr. is not going to make it. Yes,
he is.
Tony Stewart made it, but Jeff Fuller didn't quite make it.
It all happened on the restart, and again, it has rained so much here all day yesterday, and again last night, that these slick tires gain no grip on that very, very wet grass.
Like his spotter, I'd say straighten the wheels.
Exactly. That's what he needs to do because that's he doesn't realize it has the wheels cut, I don't think.
You've been stuck in the mud.
I have, yes.
Now, you'll see the 21 of Sadler on the outside. And the problem, Marlin got squeezed up and right in to Sadler, and then Sadler had trouble getting going to speed.
And we had talked about it before the race started. Anybody got in the grass today was going to be in trouble, Ned.
Yes.
Marlin
is so wet in there.
Marlin's now lost a lap.
Slid down there on the end of that stuff. Now he's getting a little bit of help from the safety workers to push him out. He didn't need a lot of help, obviously. 2 guys were able to get him out of there.
And we're back under caution again. And Elliott Sadler's car goes to the garage.
One of the greatest joys of growing up is discovering that dreams can come true. The John Deere LT-133, only $19.99 and built John Deere solid with more than 160 years of relentless craftsmanship and innovative engineering. It's the John Deere you've always dreamed of at a price that's as practical as the man who buys one. Nothing runs like a Deere.
The rigid 10-inch table saw powers through even the toughest hardwoods.
The oscillating sander converts from spindle to edge belt sanding in seconds. Engineered for power and precision, each and every Rigid tool carries a lifetime warranty. But when it comes to something with even more power, Rigid's got that too. Rigid, available at the Home Depot.
This is an ordinary cell phone. This is Nextel, and it's going to change the way you do business thanks to Direct Connect, its digital two-way radio feature. Frank, you see it? Not yet. It ensures instant contact. Bridget.
Got it.
Cost a fraction of cellular. It just passed. And it makes other cell phones...
Ready now.
Obsolete.
Direct Connect from Nextel. How business gets done.
I need a car?
There's a whole new way to shop for a used car.
No. A convertible. A red one. With under 15,000 miles.
Introducing Autotrader.com. With 1.5 million used cars updated daily, it's the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
You couldn't help me with a loan, could you? Can we help you?
Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
When the president is in trouble, he calls on his secret weapon, Chuck Norris. Who are you?
In service.
In the world premiere movie, The President's Man, CBS tonight.
After today's race, get updated standings and more. Just click on racing at cbs.sportsline.com. If you're on AOL, enter keyword CBS Sportsline. Welcome back to Texas. 121 laps complete. Mike Joy with Buddy Baker and Ned Jarrett. Sterling Marlin with an extended pit stop and a lot more of that duct tape. Bill Stevens?
Yeah, you got that right, Mike. They just went through a couple of rolls of that stuff to try to cobble together the front of the number 40 car. Actually, the news isn't as bad as it could have been. Really superficial damage other than the taping on the front. The thing that took them the longest on that pit stop was to get all the grass and the sod out from underneath the undercarriage in the back. Since they had just pitted before that caution, didn't have to change the rubber, obviously didn't flat spot the tires, so he's good to go.
Jeff Gordon makes a pit stop, as does Dick Trickle. Trickle and Tony Stewart were the big beneficiaries of that caution flag. Trickle in turn 2 got out in front of the race leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Tony Stewart nipped him at the caution flag to get back on the lead lap. So cleanup continues, and there is Trickle completing his stop, and he'll roll past Jeff Gordon, to whom much more tape is being applied.
Of course, that's the car that's normally driven by Jeffrey Bodine, the car number 60, and he said yesterday that in an interview with Ken Squire that he plans to race again in California next month.
Yeah, he looked pretty good other than having the cast on his right arm and wearing that brace on his midsection. But he really is alert and he's ready to go back racing, I think, as soon as they remove the braces.
Sterling Marlin makes another pit stop, trying to keep from going another lap down. And you ride with the leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr., behind the Chevrolet safety car. Let's get an update on Earnhardt Jr.'s day from Dick Berggren.
Well, he was just talking to his crew, Mike. He was complaining about some debris on the front straightaway here. Obviously, he wants the cleanest possible racetrack in front of him when they drop the green flag. So all of a sudden, here goes NASCAR back out on the racetrack, and sure enough, they found some of that debris. So we should be good to go. They've just told the crews 1 to go. Terrell.
Bobby Labonte's having a lot of fun talking back and forth with his crew chief, Jimmy Makar. But if you think the life of one of these drivers is glamorous, here's an idea of what Bobby's schedule has been like. This past Wednesday, he was at Greenville Pickett Speedway in South Carolina testing for Martinsville, and he crashed their short track car. Thursday, he came all the way here to Texas, and it's been nothing but concerts and autograph sessions, as you would imagine when you're in your home state. And then on Monday, Ken, he's got a television commercial shoot, then a test Tuesday and Wednesday in Talladega. It won't be until next Thursday when Bobby Labonte finally gets a day off, Ken.
Yeah, Bobby Labonte, like so many of these Winston Cup runners, you don't think about all those other things they have to do besides get out here on Sunday. Now you're riding with Tony Stewart, and what a story here. He's up to 19th on this restart. He is in the lead lap, and he's going to be starting in front of Trickle and Gordon and Spencer in that lead lap. It'll be fun to see if he can fight his way back up to the front of the field and run with those top runners. This is the kind of odds he likes to take on. Getting set for a start, here's Mike Joy.
And Ken, they're waving it off. We're going to hold for caution 1 more lap. Jeff Gordon hangs on the lead lap. And here's Adam Petty. Let's catch up with the 19-year-old. His great-grandfather, Lee Petty, a NASCAR champion in the 50s and winner of the first Daytona 500. His grandfather, the King, Richard Petty, winner of 7 Daytona 500s and 7 Winston Cups. His father, Kyle Petty, has been to Winston Cup victory lane as well. So now he's a 4th-generation driver. That's a first for NASCAR, and it may well be a first for any major professional sport. But there's Adam. He's in 30th place in his first Winston Cup drive. 1 lap down to the race leader. 124 laps completed as they try to tame Texas.
The styling of the Vulcan 1500 Drifter takes you back to another time. The engineering, make sure you don't get stuck there. Vulcan, only from Kawasaki.
To keep cool, elephants flap their ears and spray themselves with water. Fortunately, you don't have to resort to such primitive methods. Armstrong air conditioners are built tough to keep your house cool and comfortable inside, even if it feels like a jungle outside. Armstrong Air. Strength you can rely on.
Yeah.
Guys who know cars know when to reach for the right tool. That's why they reach for wrenchhead.com, an incredible tool to get auto parts fast and easy. Log on for millions of replacement parts, performance parts, accessories and gear, top brand names, all at great prices. Or just hang out with other wrench heads. It's everything a wrench head needs. Well, almost everything. Are you a wrench head?
Fred is great. He always wants to play. Just look at him go. He's got so much energy, but he sure can work up quite a thirst. That's why I give him Budweiser. It's made with only the choicest hops and barley, and it's got a clean, crisp taste that he loves. I wouldn't give him anything less.
This CBS Sports Race Summary is sponsored by Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR. Hey, race fans, this Bud's for you.
After 125 of 334 laps, 187.5 miles, 12 leaders, lead change 14 times, speed down to 134, 4 cautions for 22 laps. 3 cars have crashed out. Well, Elliott may be getting back here. We're getting set to go racing once again. Let's try it again with Mike Joy.
Getting set for the restart. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads Bobby Labonte and 20 more cars on the lead lap. Inside, that's Jeff Fuller trying to get back on the lead lap, but Earnhardt gets a good jump as they head off toward turn 1. 126 laps complete.
Earnhardt kind of lagged on the brake there, so Fuller had to wait for him to start the race.
Bobby Labonte trying to clear the lap traffic and can't.
That allows Earnhardt to get out in front. Pretty good margin.
Fuller's the second car in line, and now Labonte clears Robert Presley. So 1 lap car separates Labonte from the leader. A little further back, Dale Jarrett, Kevin LePage, Terry Labonte, Rusty Wallace all in a pack.
As they try to clear that lap traffic as well. And they're having to do it up on the outside. As we look out the back of Dave Blaney's car.
Looking back at 7th place, Dale Jarrett.
Clear low, clear low.
Bob Jeffers, the spotter for Dale Jarrett.
Good job, everybody.
I thought so.
Yeah, a little cheerleading there.
With lap cars restarting on the inside and the 22 lead lap cars on the outside, it takes a little while for the field to sort out here.
Jarrett goes under Blaney as they head down in turn 3, and Kevin LePage, you see, just goes right with him as they go right by Dave Blaney in the number 93.
Now Blaney is 1 lap down. Looking ahead at LePage. front, right side of your screen, Labonte gets underneath Jeff Fuller and now has clear sailing toward race leader Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Good battle here for 11th position. Rusty Wallace, Mike Skinner in the car number 31, Dale Earnhardt in the black number 3. Riding with Mike Skinner here now as his teammate comes up on him.
Anybody remembers Atlanta, they made a little contact when they were racing each other down there. This time, no foul. You could see Earnhardt was a little quicker, so Skinner just let him go right under.
But you know, for teammates, they race more like brothers.
They race hard. Yes. That's for sure. Yeah. And when they were racing in Atlanta, the incident that Buddy mentioned, they were racing for the lead.
For the lead. That makes a big difference. Kenny Schrader's car a little bit loose. The number 36 there, the yellow car on the inside of Skinner.
Schrader's also 1 lap down. With our Lowe's camera on board Mike Skinner. Looking back at Schrader. Well, you can see the lead that Dale Earnhardt Jr. has opened up on Bobby Labonte, but now that Labonte is clear of lap traffic, he may have an opportunity to close back in. There you see Bobby Labonte and that little dot out there past the condominiums in turn 2. That is Earnhardt Jr.
Boy, they have to be so proud. I mean, first year Winston Cup for all the group there. They moved up from Busch Brand National with Dale Earnhardt Jr. as crew chiefs and everyone. What a great job. I mean, to be able to lead the first year period.
One of the cars, Buddy, that was involved in that most recent incident, Elliott Sadler in the garage. Here's Bill Stevens with an update.
Mike, Elliott Sadler's been taken to the infield care center complaining of some pretty severe pain in his left arm and left shoulder. Crew Chief Mike Beam is actually looking around to maybe put somebody back into that car if they can get it repaired. This team is very disappointed. The Wood brothers hoping for a big day today. It was on this day back in 1967. Cale Yarborough won the Atlanta 500, and that was his first career victory.
134 laps, 7th place battle. There's Dale Jarrett, 88. Kevin LePage, number 16. We're pulling up on Ward Burton, and Burton is also 1 lap down in the Bill Davis 22.
They made some good adjustments on the 88 car of Dale Jarrett because now he's able to run that lower line and he has good corner speed, so they fixed their car somewhat from early in the race when he couldn't keep up.
Courtesy move by Ward Burton. He just moved up and let him go. Didn't block the lane. He says that's a favorable return somewhere down the road, or maybe it already has. You don't know. I mean, these drivers, they will look out for each other on occasions.
And Jarrett has really moved away from Kevin LePage now, and he's got Mark Martin in his sights. That's the 6th place car.
And that's another good guy. This part of the race, he'll move over and let him go because he watches his mirror and knows that Jarrett's much quicker right now, so he won't race him for that spot.
It's been boom or bust for Mark Martin here in Texas. He hit Augusta at 98 as the race winner, but the other 2 years they've had this race has finished no better than 34th.
You know, I don't want to say anything, but I thought I saw a little bit of smoke out. See Mark Martin just move over and let him go there. Now that someday he'll return that favor.
Ride with Joe Nemechek. Have another look at our wrenchhead.com telemetry this time.
The RPM's on the bottom. That's the revolutions per minute of the engine. 83, 84, 85, 100 RPMs.
I saw 190 miles an hour also in that telemetry just then.
He just took 13th place away from Mike Skinner. Here's your 3rd place battle. Steve Park, the Chevrolet of Dale Earnhardt and Jeremy Mayfield's Ford. Now from Dale Earnhardt Jr. to Bobby Labonte, it is 4 seconds. That's from here to eternity on the racetrack.
Or a good-sized pasture. Believe me, he's moved around here quite well. Earnhardt Jr. is just doing it his own way right now.
He's checking out.
You can't even see him. It's about the distance from Dallas to Fort Worth, from 1st to 2nd. But long way to go, almost 200 laps to go. Anything can happen, and given the history of this racetrack, most likely will.
Absolutely.
Dick Berggren.
Just came, Brad Parrott from Dale Jarrett's car, just came roaring down here to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s pit, flapping his arms in the breeze with a giant smile on his face. He's complaining. He says, you guys are taking the bone away from my driver. Will you please slow down?
Well, Dick Berggren, one of the reasons why Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s lead has grown so big is because Bobby Labonte's race car has become very, very loose, and he just cannot keep up the frantic pace that Earnhardt Jr. has set. They've been making all their adjustments to the 18 car with air pressure. They're talking about adjusting the track bar as well now on their next pit stop.
So Dale Earnhardt Jr. has the lead over Bobby Labonte's Pontiac, Steve Bart's Chevrolet, Jeremy Mayfield, and Matt Kenseth.
What if your car knew you, anticipated your needs, and then reacted to meet them? What if it could help protect you in an accident with sensors that know where your seat's positioned and the severity of the crash, so the front airbags can react to you? What if it went even further? It's time to stop wondering what if. Introducing the new 2000 Ford Taurus with the advanced personal safety system.
Well, they're 2 down in the top of the 7th. These guys are going to make a comeback. They better get the bats going soon.
Don't you wish you could scratch and get $1 million? Play Napa's $1 Million Thanks Instant Win game. There are thousands of other prizes, too. Plus, you'll save on hundreds of items. It's our way of thanking you for the last 75 years. Stop by a participating Napa Auto Parts store today.
You know, Robert Yates, Todd Parrott, the whole 88 team, they're not just people I work with, they're like family to me.
Families are real important in NASCAR. My father got me into it, and now it's my turn. Hey, can I borrow the keys to your car this weekend? No.
Families are great support, but I compete with my brother. So do the Burtons, the Wallaces, and we all want to win.
Hey, look, I love my brothers, but I'm not going to let them pass me on Sunday.
This is NASCAR.
Dad! No.
Gladiator, rated R. Starts Friday, May 5th.
Monday, the madness ends. But for the King of Queens, it's just beginning. It's going to be a whole new me. The King of Queens, part of CBS Championship Monday.
Welcome back to Fort Worth. Another Texas twister has claimed Johnny Benson. You see Benson climbing out of the Beverly Chevrolet, and also involved is John Andretti.
Something went all the way through the radiator on that car. A part flew through the front of that car and knocked a hole in the radiator.
Here's what happened.
They were coming off of turn 2. Ricky Rudd in the 28 up front there, and the 10 car of Johnny Benson. As Rudd slows down a little bit, it looks like, and Benson under the 43 looks like it just got loose, buddy, as he came off of there.
Boy, Benson had a hard hit into the wall. Let's ride along with him.
Ow! You could hear the RPMs that really get up there as the back started around on Benson's car.
That's the only Texas-owned car in the race. Tim Beverly from Tyler. And leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in, Dick.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. indeed is in, Mike. The crew had been talking about a 2-tire change. It's going to be a 4-tire change, however, as Jeff Clark jumps over Tony Eury. They have had just absolutely flawless tire changes, pit stops today. They showed 25-year-old driver poised to win his first ever. Terrell.
Well, a 15.7 stop down here for the crew of Bobby Labonte. Another great stop. Peter Jennings raised the track bar down 1/4 of a turn, and they put 4 tires on it. They're hoping that track bar adjustment will get that car handling the way they need it. Bill Stevens?
Steve Park at a track bar adjustment. They dropped it 1 turn. They took 1 rubber out of the right rear. Hopefully that'll correct the problem with that car in traffic. It has a tight condition. Matt Kenseth, 2 tire stop, no adjustments.
Yeah, there were several cars that really advanced up through the field there on that stop. I noticed that Junior really was way back when he came back out.
Rusty Wallace took on 2 tires. Dale Jarrett took on 2 tires. I think DJ came out first. We'll see when it's all settled down here.
Playing for track position in Texas. CBS Sports coverage of the DirecTV 500 continues after this message and a word from your local station.
Here's your regular internet homepage, and here's i1.com. It's free. You use it like Yahoo, Excite, or other search engines. Only i1.com gives away $10,000 every day, $1 million a month, and $10 million on tax day. Which one would you choose?
Very loyal to this site. I'm not going to abandon it for some new guy with a truckload of cash.
You're kidding.
Of course. Do I look like an idiot? Look at this cash.
Introducing i1.com. Why wouldn't you?
Go where you wanna go.
Many driving problems have been answered by Goodyear innovation. AquaTread wet traction, high-performance Eagles, all-terrain Wranglers, and AquaSteel run flat. That's serious technology. Freedom from worry. What's on the horizon? More new solutions for your peace of mind.
Serious freedom. Goodyear, Goodyear.
Chuck Norris is the President's Man. CBS tonight.
It's $0 days this weekend at Casey Auto Group, and there's never been a better time to drive home a new or used Chevy, Honda, Toyota, Jeep, or Volkswagen. Put no money down and make your best deal at any of Casey's 6 locations. Find a better price? Casey will refund 110% of the difference, risk-free. Casey's got it. Over 2,000 new and used cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, and over 50 lenders to get the lowest possible payment during Casey's $0 down sale. Ends Monday at 9.
Thinking about painting your car? Stop thinking, do it. Maaco's still offering the Ambassador Paint Service for only $189, the best economy paint service in America. How do we do it? Maaco paints more cars than anyone, 12 million, still counting. And that's why we charge less than anyone. Our Ambassador Paint Service is only $189. Maaco gives more value than anyone. What's value? Quality and price. For a great finish and a beautiful deal, call 1-888-MAACO-USA.
Watch Seinfeld, Monday at 7, only on News Channel 3.
CBS Sports coverage of the DirecTV 500 is sponsored by Goodyear, #1 in tires. Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. And by True Value. We get you in and out with just what you need so you can get back to this thing called your life.
Welcome back to Texas. 148 laps complete. We've had 2 lead changes under caution. Michael Waltrip led a lap, and as Ned theorized, the first car out of the pits was Dale Jarrett. He is the 14th different leader today. He leads Rusty Wallace, Matt Kenseth, Terry Labonte, and Dale Earnhardt Jr., who led the race when the caution came out of the pits in 5th place. Well, Texas Motor Speedway is not 1, but 2 racetracks. They opened the second one up Thursday night. Big crowd on hand, a lot of dirt slinging. A lot of passing, a lot of great racing, and Ken Squire is with the fellow who won the big Friday night feature.
Indeed, they have brought back American sprint car racing here at Texas and soon to be at Bristol and Charlotte, North Carolina. And the king of the outlaws, Danny Lasowski, is here. Danny, how soon are we going to see you in one of these things?
Well, that'd be a great deal for us to do that, but right now I'm real happy with the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. Coming to places like Texas Motor Speedway, Charlotte, Bristol, I'm just excited about being here.
Well, you had a sellout crowd, magnificent crowd, to watch you win on Friday night. And take a little look at it right here for a moment.
Oh, yeah, there we are, smoking a tire, coming off 4, I think, for the checkered. It was a great day to be here, and here we are in Victory Lane. I'll tell you what, I was happiest day for a long time, be here. First inaugural winner here at Texas Motor Speedway, and we're excited about coming back.
Well, thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing these sprint cars a lot more. It's a great addition to this track and a lot of other tracks.
Thanks for having us.
All right, let's go to Dick for just a moment.
Dale Jarrett took just 2 tires on that last pit stop. That's how come he is in the lead. He had a quicker pit stop than almost anybody else. Earnhardt Jr. and his crew were going to take 2. They changed their minds at the absolute minute. Indeed, he was here on pit road when they changed their mind to go to 4 tires instead of 2. We are going to see some people try 2 later. It is a good strategy. It may well win this race. To Bill.
Well, we talked a minute ago about Steve Park's crew taking some rubber out of the right rear spring. This is what they look like. That's a spring rubber. That's half of one right there. A whole one would look like a donut. Now, you're familiar with what a coil spring looks like. These go in between the coils, and the crews can adjust the spring rate, the travel of the suspension with this rubber. Now, they had a tight condition in that car, so they took out half this rubber. That will allow the right rear of the car to compress a little bit more in the turns. They think it'll help the car to steer better.
Thanks, Bill. Long pit stop for Sterling Marlin, and Dick Trickle has taken his Joe Bessie-owned car to the garage area. Well, we started off with this fellow at lap 18 getting into Scott Pruitt. That was the first of 5 incidents this afternoon. Let's show you if you joined us late. There's Park and leader Scott Pruitt, or he had been the leader, had just been passed for the lead, and Pruitt ended up in the fence, but he's made repairs, and Pruitt continues 14 laps down. Stacy Compton in turn 2. Took a hard bounce off the wall. He's made repairs. He's 53 laps back. Bill Elliott, Jeff Gordon, along with Johnny Benson. Elliott's car climbs up on Gordon's. And then Johnny Benson getting a little loose there after contact with John Andretti. Both of those cars heavily damaged. Benson has climbed out of his. 5 big crashes at 150 laps, and here's Bill Elliott. He said he was going to go out and ride around a bit. Well, all that hammering has come to good. They fitted a new radiator inside his Ford, and Elliott is back on track. Ralph? Oh, sorry. Excuse me, Ned.
He knows he has no chance to win the race, but he's out there running laps to try to gain points. Of course, he has to gain position before he can gain points. Now let's go to Ralph.
Thank you, Ned. I was just checking down here with Brad Parrott, who's a tire specialist for Dale Jarrett. I said, what is those 2 tire stop going to do for you? Didn't take him long to give me the answer. Went right to his notebook here, this white notebook right here, turned to last year's race here, showed me that exactly at lap 146, Mike, they did this very same thing last year and got 63 laps as we go back to green.
Ward Burton in the 22 trying to get back on the lead lap against Dale Jarrett. Rusty Wallace battling. That's for the lead.
Yeah, Rusty Wallace pulls even as they come off turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Looks like the 2 car has the advantage right now.
DJ doesn't like that outside.
Look, you see everybody fighting for that bottom groove coming off turn 4.
3rd place there, number 17, Matt Kenseth. What a great job. Rookie in this division, running in 3rd place at this racetrack. That's an accomplishment. He's really doing well.
Now, Ward Burton won't stay out there too long. He will if he can do it comfortably as DJ tries to go back on the inside of Rusty Wallace. But Ward Burton knows that there's a good chance that could be a caution on these restarts because the cars running so close together. So he's going to stay out there for several laps. But if he gets to holding them up.
They're banging in the back there.
Okay, that's
Mike Gross,
that's
one of the starters. Excuse me, spotters, one of the spotters. He spots for Ward Burton.
That's exactly what he was talking about there. Yep. Beating and banging back there, and that could cause a caution. And, of course, they'd be back on the lead lap. He is technically on the lead lap right now.
Now, Mike's from Long Island, and you've heard Ward. Ward's from Virginia.
How do they communicate?
Pretty well, it seems.
It seems that way, yeah.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. just made a pass on Bobby Labonte as they come down the front straightaway. Ricky Rudd there. He's already a lap down right now, but I will tell you one thing. These guys are going at it.
Earnhardt Jr. moves up to 4th. And the fella ahead of him now is the man he's battling for Rookie of the Year honors, Matt Kenseth. Earnhardt Jr. has led 3 races this year, all on mile-and-a-half racetracks. Las Vegas, Atlanta, and here at Texas.
He's just very, very aggressive, and this racetrack applies itself well to guys that run the corners extremely hard. Earnhardt Jr. on a mission right now.
Dale Jarrett is your 14th leader of this race. There's Earnhardt. Oh, skating a bit.
Boy, I tell you what, he better not be any more aggressive than that right there. That was almost a caution.
Caution is out. Caution is out, and Ward Burton's going to race back to the flag. That strategy they played there is going to work.
Dale Jarrett lifts out of the throttle. Here comes Chad Little back to the flag, trying to get back on the lead lap. And Jarrett could be in trouble because Rusty Wallace had just gone by.
Well, he slowed down to let his teammate Ricky Rudd get back on the lead lap. And Rusty took advantage of that situation. Now, normally they don't race back to the flag, and Rusty might even fall back behind for DJ, although he did get to the start-finish line first.
The caution was not for Dale Earnhardt Jr. It was for debris on the racetrack. And it is the 6th caution of the day coming at lap 156. There was debris up in turn 3. Some of that beaten banging, no doubt. So at 156 laps, we're closing in on halfway in the DirecTV 500 at Texas Motor Speedway. Rusty Wallace and Dale Jarrett up front.
Imagine a place that understands you'd rather be doing anything on Saturday other than fixing your faucet. A place that knows you can't spend half the weekend shopping for your weekend projects. True Value. For the jobs you do most and look forward to least. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value. Help is just around the corner.
Okay, DJ, I'm ready for you. What's the game?
I'll see boomerangs.
Boomerangs? I think I prefer football.
So what are you doing here?
I came here for the big juicy steaks. How about you?
I want that shrimp on the barbie.
Now let's go eat.
Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. Outback Steakhouse.
They're back.
When it comes to getting the right parts fast and easy, guys who know their way around under the hood always turn to their best friend, wrenchhead.com, the place to buy auto parts online. Log on for millions of replacement parts, top brand names, performance parts, accessories and gear, even hard-to-find parts. Or just hang out with other wrench heads with wrenchhead.com. Getting the right part is a snap. Are you a wrench head?
It's more than just a way to mow your lawn. It's a connection to 163 years of hard-earned truths passed down from the Great Plains to your backyard. It's the technology of the most advanced farm equipment in the world, helping you care for your own private piece of the planet. It is John Deere Solid, and now it can be yours for less than $2,000. The LT-133. See for yourself. Nothing runs like a Deere.
The final two. Florida continues its miracle run against Morris, Mateen, and Michigan State. The NCAA basketball champion. Monday night on CBS.
Tonight on 60 Minutes, meet the young beauty who grew up to become a queen and the troubled teenager who became a guitar god. Queen Raina of Jordan and Eric Clapton. Tonight on 60 Minutes. The Bud 1 airship, 1,000 feet above Texas Motor Speedway, is proud to be here today, supplying you with these spectacular aerial views. Budweiser's the official beer of NASCAR. Well, Dale Jarrett slowed up coming to the caution flag to allow his Robert Yates Racing teammate Ricky Rudd to get back on the lead lap. And so let's go down to Jarrett's pit. Here's Ralph.
Todd Parrott is the crew chief for Dale Jarrett, and your driver slowed down a little bit to help out his teammate, but you sounded like you weren't a little happy about that. How come?
Well, we'd look real funny if we got hit from behind. You know, one of them guys didn't know he was going to slow down. You know, the 28 car got his one help for the day. Now they got to get his car right.
That's it, Mike. You know, sometimes when you try to help out your teammate, it can be very dangerous. And when you're leading, Dick, well, you don't want to take any chances.
You don't. Tony Uri and his team have taken no chances at all today. That car looks like it's on a rail. What's this kid got to do to win this thing, Tony?
Well, that's exactly what our driver said. He said this thing's on a rail when he ran off from Bobby there, but we was trying to get him to save it a little bit. The car's extremely good. That Budweiser Chevy's been running like that for 4 or 5 weeks now. We just had 3 bad weeks, and we got behind these points. We got to finish this race, get us the top 10, get them points back.
And we're at green flag.
Rusty Wallace on the point. He passed Jarrett coming to the caution flag, so Dale Jarrett is second. Matt Kenseth. The rookie is third. Jarrett for the lead off turn 2.
Holy cow, did he hit the afterburner or what down the back straightaway there? The 88 car just rocketed by him down the back straightaway.
Well, he had the lead under green. Got it back under green.
Earnhardt Jr. on the outside there on Matt Kenseth trying to make a move there.
Nice and smooth now.
Now, a couple other cars benefited also got their lap back. We mentioned Ward Burton did. So did Robert Presley. He got a lap back. And there was one other car. Ricky Rudd, of course.
Michael Waltrip, perhaps? Or perhaps he was still on the lead line.
Robert Presley was the other.
Earnhardt Jr. now has third place to itself. He got by Matt Kenseth just a second ago. He is really flying in that red car, the fourth car on the screen right there.
For the record, this is Earnhardt Jr.'s 12th Winston Cup start. His dad, seven-time Winston Cup champ Dale Earnhardt, scored his first win back at Bristol, Tennessee in his 16th career start.
Dave Blaney there, he's a lap down. He's just in position as they restarted there in the 93, but Earnhardt Jr.'s car looks to be handling just like he wants it to in the third spot.
Let's ride with Blaney. Looking ahead at the two leaders, the Fords of Jarrett and Wallace. You'll see to the left, here comes Earnhardt Jr. passing the lapped car of Blaney.
Blaney went a little bit high coming off the turn, opened up the groove there for Earnhardt Jr., and he took advantage of it.
Now, Blaney's a graduate of the World of Outlaws as well. As we heard from Danny Lasowski earlier.
And Blaney, a very successful driver in that series.
Looking back at him, though, as the tires start to wear off, he's starting to run higher and losing more spots.
Here's the 10th place battle. Kevin LePage, 16. Here comes Tony Stewart.
Tony the Tiger. You're riding with him in the orange car as they head down in the corner, right on the white line. You see the 16 of Kevin LePage washing up the racetrack there.
Dick Trickle's back on the speedway after spending some time in the garage at Joe Bessie Chevrolet. Here's Earnhardt. He's in 18th place, about to overhaul Jimmy Spencer on the outside, the hard way.
Oh, yeah, he likes it that way.
So Earnhardt has already won a race this year. Up to 16th and now works around the lapped car of Rick Mast driving for A.J. Foyt. 32 is Scott Pruitt, and 45, Adam Petty.
I'd say Earnhardt's a little bit on the nippy side right now. He just had a penalty that brought him into the pits and put him in the back of the field, so he is really on a mission right now.
Now, Adam's father, Kyle Petty, has been helping out in the pit, kind of spotting and coaching for Adam. But we just saw him run to the garage area. The word is he's going to put his suit on and hop into the Wood Brothers Ford.
Okay, he used to drive for them.
Yeah.
So he's very familiar with the team. Of course, we heard earlier that Elliott Sadler.
Yep, sore left arm for Sadler after that crash, so he's out of the car.
Yep. Which proves one thing. We are a big family, and we'll help other teams out. One thing you can count on. We'll fight on the racetrack, but we have a heart when it comes to the other teams also.
Coming around to complete halfway.
About to say the same thing, Mike.
Look at Jeff Burton, 7th place, 30 positions from where he started. He and Tony Stewart both took provisional spots.
And keep an eye on Dale Earnhardt Jr. now. He's moving in on the 2 there. Rusty Wallace, they head down the back straightaway. He definitely has a very, very quick car. We said that over and over again, but it's amazing to watch what he's doing with this car.
He likes this track. Got his first Busch NASCAR Series Grand National win right here. Boy, did he loosen up Rusty by moving up that close to him.
He does that a couple of times. Rusty will say, you know, 3rd isn't that bad.
For the moment.
And we have
trouble.
caution.
Turn 4, a car up in the wall. In turn 4, that is Gary Bradbury.
I don't think we'll have any cars racing the leader back to the line this time. There are none that are.
No, they've all slowed up.
None of them are close to the leader.
So here comes Jarrett at a somewhat leisurely pace back to the caution flag. There's a gentleman's agreement among the drivers about not racing back to the caution flag unless you're trying to get a lap back from the leader, and no one was close enough to contend. So let's make this the 7th caution of the day at lap 169. Track crew is going to Gary Bradbury's aid. And to clean up, in the garage area already there have been 7 cars, make that 8 cars, either behind the wall, lengthy stays on pit road, or out of the race in the garage due to crash damage. Not quite the average for this race, which is 9, but then we're just halfway.
Wow. Well, this is a car getter. If you get in trouble here, you really smack the wall pretty hard.
Bradbury is okay. The Larry Hedrick Chevrolet is not. There's Bradbury after a slide around and into the wall.
And it looks like as he slides around the track, the leaders are now heading into the pits.
First to Dick Berggren.
Tony Eury Jr. Going to be up on the front tires now as Earnhardt Jr. comes down pit road driving the same car he matched his career best finish ever in, 10th in Las Vegas in this race car. Let's see if they're going to pull a 4-tire stop or a 2-tire stop. Last stop they did was 16 seconds. Windshield comes off in front of it. They got a little piece of plastic that they just hauled off. Another 4-tire stop for Jr. Meanwhile, Bobby Labonte has gone out of the pit. He's finished his service, as has Park, as has Skinner, as has the 99 of Burton. Oh boy, Junior's got his work to cut out for him now. Terrell.
Well, it's a 4-tire stop for Dale Jarrett. They did exactly what they had with the car before. They just changed tires. That's all they did to it. They like the way this car is handling right now.
Jarrett with 2 runner-up finishes here in Texas in the first year, and in 99 he finished 11th here in 98. Bill Stevens.
Rusty Wallace came in, got 4 tires, no chassis adjustment, and 2 stalls down. Matt Kenseth is still in the pits. He was going to come in and just take 2 tires. They changed their mind. They're taking 4, and as you can see, there's a NASCAR official in front of the car. A tire from that team got loose and crossed pit road. They're holding him up.
Also a lengthy stop there. Dale Earnhardt has been in for a very long stop. They took a long time on the right side of the car. Now they're under caution, so they have the luxury of taking time. It's not going to cost him an additional position.
But how about Matt Kenseth? Is it going to cost him a lap?
He's still being held.
And let's show you what happened. Oh, there goes the tire.
And that's going to cost him at least a lap.
Oh.
Yep. That is too bad. He had such a great run going here today.
Now they'll stop him right there and let everybody go by, and he'll be at the tail end of the line a lap down.
And it wasn't Matt's fault.
No.
Happened in the pits.
All right, 171 laps are complete here in Texas. We're under caution, but we'll be right back.
We are here today working alongside Habitat for Humanity. You start with something that's just a slab of ground, and you help build a dream alongside the people that live in this home. We have NASCAR involved, we have Joe Gibbs involved, we have Tony Stewart involved.
We got some cheap manual labor here.
We try to reach out to the community, really become part of the community, and we're here to really make a difference and to say thank you to the community. The keys to the home, and
thank you.
You're very welcome.
Team Inherit Pizza Hut Empire.
We're going to create the ultimate cheese pizza.
Is 1 cheese ultimate? I don't think so.
6 cheeses. That was me. I'm off to Wisconsin to get some more cheese.
The new Ultimate Cheese Pizza, loaded with the topping of your choice. 6 kinds of cheese, 50% more of it, and an incredible price. $8.99 medium, large, just $2 more.
It's a good price. We're not millionaires.
Well, you are.
Oh, yeah.
The Ultimate Cheese Pizza from Pizza Hut. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Hold it right there, Tooth Fairy.
Hand over the bag and no one gets hurt.
How do you plan on paying off your bills? A Conseco home equity loan can consolidate your debt into one low payment. Conseco, step up.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Amazing. That car never ages.
To help keep your car young, protect your engine with Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car.
This CBS Sports Race Summary is sponsored by Haviland. Add more life to your car.
After 171 of 334 laps, 256.5 miles, we've had 15 different leaders. The lead is swapped 21 times. Cautions the story, 7 of them. These are the drivers who have crashed out of this 500. Nadeau from Connecticut, Sadler, Virginia, Andretti, Benson, Bradbury, all victims of this mile-and-a-half track. And would you believe that a car that was a lap down just a few moments ago is now the leader? There he is, Ricky Rudd. And with more on the story, here's Mike Joy.
Rudd is at the front after the pit stops that were made under this caution flag. Jeremy Mayfield there is in second. Bobby Labonte is the third place car. 2 Fords leading a Pontiac.